Hello, family. Thank you for coming over to the house tonight. And just kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the SK beat. We're kicking. Just kicking. Just kicking. Okay, you don't come to another episode where we're going to be asking the question of, why you telling my business? Don't be telling my business. Why not? Because a can and a can, a can, and a wheel. Now we're off to... Hello, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 40s World. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. All right. Hello. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, as well as my other channel called Make It Make Sense. All right. And towards the end of the video, I'll give you a picture of what it looks like, because it's several Make It Make Sense out there, but mine is unique because it has the CENTZ and not the regular S at the end. Okay. But I want to thank you for all your support and your time, and welcome over here to the house where we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing a follow-up story on a story we had already put out there. We're going to be talking about Good Times Dad, James Evans, but his real name is JohnAmos. All right. Child, he done messed around and told us it was his daughter that was doing all the elderly abuse against him. Now, what kind of shit is that? You understand? But got to put all disclaimers out there. Everything over here is alleged. So don't quote me on anything. Just enjoy the commentary, relax, and let's kiki together. Okay? But this particular video, it's not really to be made fun of. You know, mental health is a very precarious thing, and it can take the brain on several different courses, depending on whether they want to stop at the dementia realm, or want to go to the Alzheimer's realm, or just blown out full mental health situations. And I'm thinking, is that what's wrong with his daughter? Because why would she come out and tell us a horrific story about a man we loved and we got a chance to see in our 70s and 80s and 90s and on up? But mainly, he garnered support for when we used to see him on Good Times. Okay? Yes, and evidently it's not any good times going on in that family, because from what the son has spoke out to some bloggers and anyone that will anyone that will really listen to them, he has told everyone it is his daughter that's going around abusing him, allegedly, as well as taking taking stuff out of his house and all of that stuff. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. This woman was trying to start a GoFundMe, and she was enlisting the public to help her out with saving money for a court case and other litigations and things of that nature, because somebody had did something to her dad, meaning defrauded him, took all his money out the bank or whatnot, and then went through the house and had a pick me up. Like, pick me up, I'm going out the door with you type of mentality going on there. And I was shocked. I thought it would have been anybody else besides the one who wanted to create or did, well, wait a minute. She ain't tried to. She did put up a GoFundMe for her dad, and she was saying her dad is not going to like it, but we're going to push through all that. And I'm like, yeah, he don't like it if it ain't true, dummy. But anyway, let's go into the audio that I have on this particular subject. So y'all can kind of make y'all decisions on, is the daughter cuckoo? Is she trying to pump her daddy for money? He won't give it to her. I mean, what's the issue?
Tell me what the issue is, what problems you're experiencing legally, and what you would like us to do for you, and then I can tell you what we can do, what we can't do, and how long it'll take.
He's talking to the cops right now.
Okay. I'm an 83-year-old man, and I have 2 children. My son is here with me in the hospital in Memphis. He's at my bedside, and I'm not in the hospital as a result of anything that happened recently, other than the fact that about a month ago I was hospitalized because I was suffering from water retention, and a couple of other issues, all of which have been corrected or at least addressed. I'm very capable and I'm very confident in the doctors that I have here and the medical staff that my son has assembled around me, so I feel really good about that. My main issues are that I feel that I was, prior to entering the hospital, I had some ongoing issues with my daughter, who I feel has taken advantage of me, and she would be the primary suspect, if you would. I don't know if that's the right term to use or not, but she's the one that I would attribute my elderly abuse to. And it's definitely a case of elderly abuse because, as I said...
Now, could y'all believe that? Could y'all believe that, honey? If you don't, let's listen to it again. Why don't we listen to it again? In case you may have missed something, but he was talking to the, I guess, a detective or police officer, but the man that he was recording with, and it was taking his statement. He wasn't in, what do you call it, the police officer's attire. He was in like a polo shirt, some jeans, and a hat. So let's just hear that again.
Do for you, and then I can tell you what we can do, what we can't do, and how long it'll take or how short it'll take.
Okay. I'm an 83-year-old man, and I have 2 children. My son is here with me in the hospital in Memphis. He's at my bedside, and I'm not in the hospital as a result of anything that happened recently, other than the fact that about a month ago I was hospitalized because I was suffering from water retention, and a couple of other issues, all of which have been corrected or at least addressed. I'm very capable and I'm very confident in the doctors that I have here and the medical staff that my son has assembled around me, so I feel really good about that. My main issues are that I feel that I was, prior to entering the hospital, I had some ongoing issues with my daughter, who I feel has taken advantage of me, and she would be the primary suspect, if you would. I don't know if that's the right term to use or not, but she's the one that I would attribute my elderly abuse to. And it's definitely a case of elderly abuse because, as I said...
Okay. So what do y'all think about that? That hot popping tea? Yes. James Evans, as we know him and growing up looking at Good Times, but we're talking about the actor, but we're talking about the man, JohnAmos. His daughter has definitely come out here and show her ass. You know what I'm saying? She is trying to extort money from her dad. Now, how piss poor of a child is that? Now, could she be suffering from mental illness? Possibly, possibly. Because I don't know what child in their right mind would say something that's not true And it's a possibility that people can work it out, meaning track her steps and see how she got to the way she was thinking. Where are the people? It doesn't seem like he has a caregiver. He seemed to be good, sound body and mind, all together put there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not understanding what the daughter game was and what caused her to think up such a horrific plot. Letting us believe one thing, like her dad is on his last leg. You know, we don't know what's going on with him as far as his hospitalization stay, what he's gone through at the hospital. She done came from somewhere across country because they called her and told her dad was in the hospital. Da, 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 da. I mean, this lady was convinced, and she had set out in her car and she was planning it all out or laying it all out of what she needed from the public. If we could, contribute to the GoFundMe that she did set up. She went on to say her daddy is not going to like what she's saying on, live TV or, live YouTube, and it just gets spread around, from one state to the next, really. And she's saying she has to help her dad out and get situated. And from what I'm understanding, the only person I've seen that has been at his bedside is, like you said, his son. And he was so happy to see him when he came through those doors, I guess, for a visit or whatnot. But the son is not really saying anything. Well, I haven't seen a video where he is expressing his feelings about it. But dad, which is John Amos, he definitely is expressing himself about it. And he was saying that the GoFundMe need to be shut down right now. And the people that did, feel sorry for him or wanted to contribute to his health and possible legal litigation they were going to go through with the caregivers that's supposed to have been taking care of him. Now, that was a bit much to swallow because I'm like seeing past pictures on, Instagram or on YouTube of John Amos and his family. You would think they were the perfect family in a sense. So why would she make up such an elaborate hoax just to get her dad's money? I mean, I did research a little bit. They said he was worth $2.2 million, but I'm like, James, you might have gone to get that girl her, and John, you might have gone to get that girl her inheritance before she mess around and take you on out. What they saying now is called unalive, but I'm just gonna say, girl, man, she getting too close for comfort. You better have some bodyguards around you or whatnot. Because if she is cray cray, we don't want you to get hurt and we don't want her to get hurt. We want her to get help. And maybe she has to visit a mental health institution for a month or so to get her back on a even keel in her brain. Okay? Mixed with pain management as well as management care, maintenance. But child, now I never would have known now. I mean, you think of white people do that, because white people be ready to kill their family over anything. But with it being, in a black family, I wouldn't say it's not surprising how things are going here today, but you would expect in the black race, is what I'm saying, the parents feel like they have to leave their children something, and the children know how much it is. And when they don't fell on hard times, they trying to get the money from their parents, but they say, no, you can't get it to XYZ. So they start to think about how can they get rid of their parents. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real slippery slope when you're talking about him having 3 kids. Because I don't have the picture up, but I think it was 3 kids when they took a picture together as a family. Now, I don't know if that's the only wife he's had. And she, bore out those 2 that we've seen, Logan. And, shoot, I can't think of that child's name. We just say his oldest daughter. JohnAmos' oldest daughter. And I saw they had another sister. I guess her name is Shannon, if I can remember correctly. But yeah, John said it ain't got nothing to do with him. What she going through. It's a private matter, but everything, that's done in the dark will come to light. So maybe she need to get some help, and he may be trying to enlist the police to try to track her down so she can be evaluated. It's almost like, okay, you got me, now I'm going to get you type of scenario, which I'm sure he loves his children. I'm sure he's fair with each one of his children. I just don't know what, it seems like she was the oldest of the daughters anyway. And, you can tell that's his child from the nose and the eyes. She got her mom's mouth, it looks like. But y'all need to get out in them comments and tell me what y'all thought about this mess, because that's a hot mess. That is a truly, truly hot mess. That she would make up such an elaborate story as a hoax just to get the public at large, which is us, to donate to something that was fictitious. So that's why John had said, no, you cannot watch me. You cannot be by me because I'm scared of you. He probably is scared of his daughter, because if he's suffered any elderly abuse, which he said he did suffer from, but it was at the hands of his own daughter, his own blood. So that is interesting, to say the least. And I'm kind of thinking, what does her brother think about what she's doing out here in these streets, getting money for something that is just not true? You know what I'm saying? So it's a hot mess. Just like I said, it is a hot mess on how children can disappoint their parents, and not just disappoint their parents, but go into a situation for when they get old, the children are the caregivers, unless you're going to put them in a nursing home or something to that degree. But I'm like, I still want to know, why was she where she was, which is out the country? What was she doing out there? Hopefully she's making money, but evidently not, because she had to scrape up money to come to Memphis to see about her dad. Now she wanted money to go back so she can get the best lawyers, the best investigator to help her with whatever she's going through. Because evidently she got to be going through something if she's going to make up such a crazy, unverified type of um I just don't know. I don't want to say. I really don't. Because I'm sitting here looking like I'm talking to y'all. I'm trying to make it make some sense. But I just don't see how this lady would have a straight face like she did, saying she got receipts that TMZ got it wrong. They need to call her so she can fill them in with correct information, and not the information that was put out on social media. Now, again, I'm looking at the brother. I don't know if he's the oldest or he's the youngest of John's kids, but I do know that it ain't right. It's not right at all to do your elderly parents like that. We're supposed to cherish and honor our parents, especially if they were in our lives from birth on up to seeing you becoming a good adult, a good citizen for somebody to model off of. But child, I mean, she got James features too, that nose, that mouth, and the eyebrows. Got some strong genetics right there. But I just want to know, John, what is the tea? Because you only told us that the person that was causing the elderly abuse was your daughter. And she's trying to make it and put it on somebody else. I'm like, what is your son, her brother, is saying about this? Are we not having a conversation with one another to just see how we got here? But definitely conversation need to be had between John and his son on how, why, when, and where, what they can do with his daughter, his sister, because something flew over the cuckoo's nest. Okay, I don't know what the Frosted Flakes, Fruit de Loops, cereal bowl is going on here, because it seemed like neither one of them had their coffee, but especially her, and she was just being in every kind of way, saying this, that, and the third about her dad. Which, you heard John Amos on the audio. He don't have a clue why his daughter would do him the way she did him. And y'all, they said it was physical. It wasn't mental. It was physical. So I'm like, what are you doing to your dad? You up there beating him with a stick? I mean, what's really, really going on? And I know the family's trying to keep it amongst the family. They don't want outside interference in no shape, form, or fashion. But it's like, if we donate money and you have a concern, then we need to know what was going on, what happened, how did it happen, who were involved. We need to know all those problems. When you ask the public at large for money, they're going to be wanting something in return. Like, okay, what do you need this money for? What has happened on them streets of Atlanta that we need to bail somebody out? And I'm like, honey, John, you better come on up in here and get yourself back together. Because your daughter may do a fatal attraction on your behind. But you sounded very strong. You sound very solid in what you were saying. So, I mean, I got to believe you. I sure do. I have to believe what you said and what your her brother alluded to, but he didn't have really no say so with regard to spilling the beans on his sister. Maybe she was being cray cray at the time, but maybe she, in her earlier years of her life, she may have had to take antidepressant type medication or psychotic type medication just to keep her on an even keel. And that's not to say, she don't need to be put in a position where she has to take medicine all the time. I mean, they have injectables that can last up to 3 months if she did not want to take her pills for whatever reason. Because I want to know what else she had going on, John. What else? Was she ever put in a psych ward before? What other issues were you having with your daughter to make the public try to donate money to you, but in the grand scheme of things, all the money more than likely would be going to her since she's asking you for the money? So, I mean, is she driving you crazy? Let our sister know. Tell us. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Good night.